And from the sounds of it, from what he said, I'm going
see something stranger still.
to the Sanctuary. Or the Bastion. Either way, it's the safe haven. So, when you fall, or if you make the Skyway, either way, you make it back to the Bastion. So, it really doesn't even make sense why to run, because it's just a waste of time.
We talk for a spell.
And the guy that you hear his voice is actually this man right here. He's the narrator.
There's a bit of
and with items that you find random throughout the world, he'll explain them all. So it gives you a lot more background story.
All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there, then watch. I try to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, alright. Except no one else showed up.
Probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few levels every video or so, depending on how long the level is. So hopefully I can get maybe 2 or 3 levels in at a time, so it's not like a huge long series where everyone's like,
starts growing again.
So
growing stronger.
Every time you put in a core, the Bastion grows stronger, bigger. So basically you get 3 cores, you'll be able to open up those 3 areas. When you get your 4th core, you open up the other side. And then when you see the story continues, more things happen, and it's great. So here's the shrine. This is where you can invoke the gods. I gotta have this first, or else this challenge really won't mean anything.
The Pantheon.
Okay, so here's Hence. Foes will hit harder. And it warns you that the more gods you invoke, the stronger they become. Foes will have Vengeance. So basically what that one is, you'll see like little pointy sharp things fall out of enemies, usually 1 or 2, and those actually cause a lot of damage. When I get hit, or if I touch them, I'll be slowed, but the touch thing comes into a later god that you'll see soon. Basically they attack faster and move faster. I do less damage to them. And here's Udrig, where if I touch them they cause damage. So that's where the whole slow thing comes into play. They'll never give me health tonics or black tonics, which means I have to use them wisely. They will regenerate even when they take damage, and this is where these two come into play with the regeneration, because Alec makes them go to air randomly at times when I strike them. What's even harder is when that Garmuth is played, because then he can reflect attacks and turn to air and regenerate at the same time, so it can be very annoying. But in return I get more shards and more experience, but there's no need for it because I have everything. So on to the next area.
They don't know what's out there waiting for him. The Skyway. Now the
and here are the challenges. Like you got Proving's Ground. It looks like that's it for now, but I'll do those challenges later. They'll probably have their own separate video. Or it'll just be like one huge video of challenges for the weapons.
Ought to be a core down one of these twisted
Okay, so
but which one?
I know where the core is, so I'm not gonna go to the 2 down here because they lead nowhere, but I'm gonna go up here because there is a forge, I believe, and that will give me the ability to edit my weapons. That's annoying. Okay, see these little spiky things? Those are the guys that deal 45 damage to me. And that's where the squirts become a pain, because they're one shot, but they lay out all the grenades. So here's all the materials you can collect throughout the game, but basically we focused on something pointy and something greasy. So I'm pretty sure I'm happy with what I have for my pistols. So we'll go with Bullet Scatter Eliminated. Want more damage. Penetration is good, more damage is good, and they ignore armor. So basically, if there's an enemy that normally takes no damage, depending on what they do, I'll just go right through and deal damage. Not a whole lot, but it'll go through. Probably the same thing I have with a spear, so I have a higher crit chance, but a knockback is very important to have, because multiple enemies coming at once, you can at least push them back and give yourself some breather to fight back. Faster thrust is very important, more damage of course, and then this also ignores armor. So from up close or far away, I'll always pierce armor.
Paid his dues in that forge. Core ain't here neither. So he's gotta guess again.
Alright, now we're
Up
going on to the
north is
core.
where gas fella foreman used to live, tending to his flock. And there it is.
Alright, there's Crystal.
But it's locked down tight in an alloy cage.
And there's the
blustery
foreman.
old foreman's keeping his fellas in check, almost like he's showboating for the crowd. And now there's a new marshal in town.
Oh, that's nice. Alright, got the core. And depending on the level, if you grab a core, levels will fall. But this level
Might as
doesn't
well check
happen.
the other side
Oh,
streets
that hurt.
before leaving this hole.
I'll check. No, I'm not gonna check the other ones. It's not worth it. I already know it's there. And I have all the stuff anyway, so.
He comes back, just like I knew he would. The core hums in his pack. The monument's calling for it. Kid does it again. Only fair he decides what we build next.
Alright, next I will build. Let's see. We'll go with Lost and Found.
The lost and found. Here, kid takes fragments of the old world and makes them whole again.
Buying stuff that I don't need. Oh, hey, look at that, a memento.
The windbags used to be alright. Then the calamity took the
And
floor
there's
out
my
from
pet.
under 'em.
Oh, he's such a good pet.
Picked up traces of other
Alright,
cores
now
while the kid
let's
was out.
do... We'll do the sundown path.
Couples used to walk the sundown path. Kid ain't here for pleasure though.
And they're the gods. So all I gotta do is get the core and I'll be good.
But then, somebody gets to the core before the kid.
I
Floor starts giving way at the
took the
flight
car.
of step. A single
Well,
panic
guess this
squirt
time it ran away.
bring the whole place down. Fragments of the old world rain from the sky. Well, the path ain't exactly open to visitors no more.
Ow.
See, the path was intended for leisurely strolling and such.
So with this one, because they took the core, everything's
Sky
falling apart.
bridges link the path together.
Although you can usually run fast
One of
enough to
them
where it
bridges
won't
whips
matter.
the kid along.
And here's what I'm talking about with items you found throughout the game.
Finds a spyglass.
When we talk to the
like the
narrator,
ones
he'll
being
give you a
used
deeper
to
story
search
to
the
it.
stars. The calamity changed everything, even where the wind blows.
Although now that I
Well, if
think
we
about it, I
mastered the
probably
winds in
should
the old
have
days,
kept
we could do it
the
again.
foundry
But the
because I
question
think they're gonna
is,
force me
Who
to
else could have
take
taken
a
the
certain
core?
skill. And there's that Ulk where they go transparent.
Well, ain't no survivor stole the thing. Scumbag ate it by mistake.
Oh god, scumbags are the worst.
Tough break. Unlike the kid, that core ain't coming back. No, they used to ship live munitions down
Oh,
the
yep,
path.
there it is.
Fine
They're gonna
time
force
to
me to
find
take the
them.
hand grenade. Which I've thought about too, because if I get low health, the hand grenade will crit, and it's
It's
AoE,
wise to toss those things plenty far
but
away.
it's finding the right spot to do it.
Even gas fellas need some shut-eye from time to time.
Look at that. Huge pile of gas fellas.
They get real cranky when you wake them up.
Oh, nice. Got them all. Alright.
In all his toil, Kid keeps coming back to an overwhelming question. Who else could have survived the calamity? So he didn't find the core that time, but that ain't about to stop us.
But it is going to stop me. I'm just going to call it right here for now. And I will see you guys next week.